Hello, glad to see you again. I have my little one here. Not that little anymore, he's like 1.5. But he loves to sleep on me during his nap time, so that's that. I'm gonna today we're talking about some of the more TypeScript stuff, so going back to continuing the basic TypeScript setup. One thing I just wanted to mention is that the service import that I was using for the router import, RouterService, was not correct, or it used to be, but then it changed. I think that was private API, so this is the new one, which makes sense, I think. So I don't know when this was added, but that's useful for us. And then, so that will give us correct types here, which is nice. And then this ESLint error that's coming up, probably not something we want, so let's fix that too. There's a project called TypeScript ESLint. And let's set that up. Getting started. Let's see, zoom that in. Yes, why does it exist? ESLint. How does it work? Let's see. Here. Getting started usually means getting started, right? Oh. I want to lint my TypeScript code base. Yes. And okay, so let's add. I'm using npm here. We got these plugins. Give that a go. And then ESLint, we have to configure it. So let's open that. That's not RC. So we're using Babel ESLint by default. That's so we get like decorator support and all that in the JavaScript side. And let's replace that with this. So this is pretty easy setup. It's just I'll do plugin first. And recommended. I think we replace that. Oh no, we don't. We put it after. Okay. Yeah, so there's an explanation if you need that. Let's see how that works. Let me start the server back up here. Maybe we shouldn't need to start it up, but yeah, so it looks like we get some new type errors. Missing return type on function. So this is like more better TypeScript linting here that we get now, and we no longer have the error we had, which is nice. And you could disable these, I guess. I usually don't like to use these just because TypeScript infers a lot of stuff already, so it knows it's a string because this is typed. So generally I turn this off, but I mean we can do that here for now. So that's how we solve that string, and then this one's same thing, missing return type. Looks like it returns transition any. Let's see. And transition comes from, not sure. I mean, I'll just do, actually, we don't do anything here, so we'll do void, right? We don't return anything. We don't have a return statement, we don't have undefined, so void is what we want there. So I mean, this gets kind of tedious. I generally don't do that. Kind of want to use TypeScript where you need it, and then if TypeScript knows something about your code, just let it do its thing there. So that's fine. Yeah, so that's fixed. So, but now I want to kind of dive into the typings folder a little bit. So, so this is how Ember adds, or Ember CLI TypeScript adds types for our templates, kind of. And these are global. So whenever we import this, like our template, then we get kind of some of this type stuff here. Get like template factory type. So that's nice, and that's kind of where you define the globals there. But what if you want to, let's see here, you want like shared types from your server or something like that. You can dump them in here or auto-generate them. So if you have a GraphQL server, you can do like GraphQL code gen library and point that to here and create a folder. So we can do like a new folder called the shared types, and in here we can do a new file called index.d.ts, and that's just type definitions. Means there's no running code in here for the runtime. And here we can do export. So what this folder does is basically it's saying if we ever import from shared types, this is index.d.ts is the thing that would define those types. So here we can do export type test and name string, right? So super basic. And now if we go in our app, we can do import test from shared types. So it gives us that. If we save that, if we have our test, there's the type that we defined. So that's super nice. I usually like to do that as well. So you're explicit that you're importing types. And I mean, you can do that, right? Which obviously that's not going to work because these are not the right types there. So that's kind of how you do that. Just save that. And you can import other types into your own types. So like, let's see, index here. Member data, model registry. So I mean, if we had something, so if we have some stuff installed here, like in, we have all these types here. We can import types defined here into our types that we have here. So we can do, actually, I don't think you need the type thing here just because you're in the type definition file. We can do service, let's do and we can say, we can create our own registry, right? Registry and service, and we can see that that's a service there. And if we go back to our controller here, we just do registry, and now registry has a service, right? And if we did registry, and we could say this is a registry, right? And on here we can do service colon router. If we save that, so now we have a registry with a service on it, right? Because router extends service. So that's nice. I mean, that doesn't give us a lot. So if we do this.registry service okay, so I mean we get so we don't get the router's properties, right? Auto completed there. Because we said it's a service. We didn't say it's a router service. So here we can do something like this. We can, I guess, cast it to a different type, I guess the proper term. And now it knows that it's the correct one. So I didn't misspell that. Transition to. So yeah, so that's kind of how that works. I mean, those are some more details about TypeScript, how you can use that. If you have any other questions, please let me know. And I mean, if you see this code here, you can also check out the dist directory, right? Assets, our app, and we'll do a search in here, right, for application controller, I think it was. Controllers application. Okay, so yeah, and you can see here like our types are not there. So I mean, the types are just, they're there to help you refactor and write your code and be able to be confident about it. And yeah, so I want to show them one more thing. So I can do, so people use any, right, a lot. That seems to be a, oops, not here, sorry, not there. If we go back in here, use any, and that's, so like that still works. And if I do this, it doesn't complain, right? But we can do something like a guard, right? So there's something is service, actually is router service, right? Service could be any here, asserts router service. I think that's how it goes. I think there's a colon there. Router service. Hold on. TypeScript. I always forget this. Type guards. Yeah, so pet is okay. So this is I thought there was a assert kind of thing. I'm thinking of a different TypeScript feature. So service is router service, right? So if so we do return so basically checking that the service has a transition to and it's a function. And so we can use that, right, to say is router service, and we can pass our, and in here we can use, can safely use that. So here it would be, see, services, a router service, and it's inside because we did that check. That's a nice way to do that. But here, notice it's telling us not to use any, so we can use unknown instead. Wonder. Yeah, so that's useful. So yeah, the totally spacing on that. So I actually wanted to show something else. So using any is kind of bad just because like anything can happen here, right? You don't know, there's no guarantees. But if you use unknown, right, you don't know what it is. And so once you come in here, you can do that. So you're assuming there's transition 2 on something that's unknown. So you want to pretty much make it known, right? So you use something like this. And that's kind of, I think that's a better approach than using any in that case. I'm not really sure how this type card can be rewritten to use unknown. If you do know, I would definitely love to see that in the comments. Yeah, so I mean that's that. I hope you had I hope that was useful for you, and if you want more TypeScript, Ember TypeScript videos, please let me know. I'm obviously learning myself, so we can learn together. Take care. Yeah, have a good one.